Hello everybody, BrioS here, and today I have for you a mech you don't see really often on the battlefield, and that's a crying shame. That's because I kinda like this design quite a lot. I find this one of the sleekest mechs out there, and in terms of performance, it's definitely not top tier. I can think of a lot of mechs that actually do better than this, but it still does good work. And sometimes you don't want to play metal builds, you want to play something a bit different than what is normally out there. Thankfully for the quadrant patches, a lot of mechs are more viable, and that's good. So anyway, back to this mech. This is the 60-ton Innisfield Battle Mech, the Champion. This particular variant is the Champion 3N, which is a variant with 5 energy hardpoints, a ballistic and a missile hardpoint. And in terms of viability, Champions are actually pretty darn tanky. They have good quirks for armor, and they have above average mobility, so you can move in, twist and turn and soak quite a bit of damage if you know how to play defensively. Unfortunately, the snout, the center torso, is pretty obvious, so that is a problem, so yeah, gotta be careful. Anyway, regarding this build, most people build the Champion 3N with an AC-20 with maybe 5 medium pulses or heavy gauze with 5 medium lasers, but I decided to run something a bit different for you guys, and it's actually surprisingly effective. So what is it? Let's look at MechLab. So I'm actually running this as a typical inner sphere laser bolt, 3 large pulses as its main weapons, and 2 ER medium lasers in the arms as secondary weapons. Only 14 double heatsinks, so that is a problem because this build will run hot, but with the IS T-Com Mark 1 and the 10% range quirk, the large pulses with skills hit out to a range of 514 meters, which is pretty decent, and the 2 ER medium lasers in the arms hits out to a range of 462. And in terms of quirks, as I was saying, this mech is pretty darn well quirked. The armor quirks are pretty substantial, CT plus 12, side torsos plus 10, arms plus 16, so it's not too shabby actually. Even the legs have an armor bonus of 10. And as I was mentioning earlier, it does have a 10% range quirk, and the rest are ballistic and missile quirks, which I did not use, so it's pretty darn well quirked. But what makes this mech effective is actually its profile. So if you look here, the 3 large pulse lasers are clustered around the center torso area, so good convergence, and the arms can't say the same for the 2 ER medium lasers. They're really far apart. So far apart, like one is in Zimbabwe and the other one's in Taiwan or something like that. So the arms are pretty bad convergence. But the good thing about the arms is that the 2 ER medium lasers can pivot upwards to hit UAVs or downwards to shoot pesky mechs running around at the bottom. So it's a pretty well-rounded build, albeit a bit hot. So anyway, this build is, well, not matter, but pretty darn decent as you see from the gameplay. So let's take a look at the skills. So for Laservomit build like this, I'm actually going for 4 nodes of laser duration for the 2 ER medium lasers to reduce the duration of those weapons especially, and have a whole bunch of other skill points, 45 SPs in total. I get a cooldown reduction of 9%, heat reduction of 10.5% getting all the skill nodes, and a range boost of 15%. So you want to play this build using the range, hitting at its maximum range of about 450 and above is a good engagement range, hitting and fading away, tanking if necessary because you can take quite a bit of damage. So anyway, talking about that, that's why I'm putting 16 SPs into mobility, 3 nodes of speed tweak to achieve that 79 kph, and the other bonuses are pretty standard. I like to use this configuration if you are my regular viewers. The rest give me an XL, D-cell, turn rate bonus of 10.5, 14% and 24%. Very decent. And in terms of operations, yet again with a Laservomit, you want 20 SPs for 5 nodes of cool run to increase heat dissipation by 10%, and 5 nodes of heat containment to increase the heat capacity by 15%. As I said, this is a pretty hot build, so you want 10 SPs in operations. You can actually go less, but I wanted 2 strikes. 10 SPs because I want 2 cool shots, enhanced with all these bonuses, with a cool shot cooldown, so I can fire the second cool shot 25% faster. So that's it. That's the Champion 3N. What makes this mech better than I thought it would be is actually its tankiness and its profile, because the main weapons are, well, along the center line, and that allows you to hill hump and shoot nicely. There are a lot of mechs out there, like the Thunderbolt 9 SE is a good example, that are really well quirked for large pulses and other lasers. But the profile of the Champion is superior, because if you hill hump, you don't expose much before you can fire all these weapons. The Thunderbolt 9 SE, which I happen to have, is really well quirked, but the weapons are really low mounted. So when you look at mechs, don't only just look at the quirk, look at the profile, so that helps a lot. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to show you some gameplay for this build, and I hope you like it. So let's go. So for the first showcase match is a map on HPG Manifold, and this map actually suits this build pretty nicely because as I was saying earlier, the champion has a pretty sleek and low profile, pretty good for hill humping because by the time you shoot your weapons, you don't expose much of your mech, and that suits this map nicely because HPG Manifold has quite a lot of ramps. And talking about ramps, I'm actually going to head towards the 5 line and use the ramps there to shoot the enemy as they come round. Don't all go basement, please. He'll just run out. They're already at Delta 4.
New target
3
acquired.
heavies at least, plus... Oh, an assault. A stalker. Echo.
Yeah, there was in there, man.
So one stalker, Echo doesn't really see me. Allows me to do some damage, surprisingly to his rear. Even drop a strike. Stalker Echo is already hurt. Rear cord. Delta 4. Not much damage from the strike. I'm a bit too far to the right from my team, so I'm just going to hold this ramp for defensive purposes and just cover the right
Guys in
flank.
the wall too. With Dakar.
Yep.
Target acquired.
Ooh, a rocket archer, watch it. Delta 4 spotted. There are always snipers on the wall, so gotta be really
New
careful.
target acquired.
Now that I have a few friendlies near me, as you can see from the minimap, it's time to be a bit more aggressive. Yep.
The enemy is at 25%.
2 mechs friendly in front of
New
me,
target acquired.
so it's time to move forward. Of course, after I do some damage to the stalker at range, since I can shoot it and he's shut down.
The dire whale there.
Target spotted.
Watch out. It's to your left. Well, you
New
can.
target
Ooh, Dire.
acquired.
Watch out the Dire. Delta 5. Delta 5 high under ECM.
New target acquired.
He's an Irby friend.
Level
They're moving
critical.
into the center. I saw Stalker and Hitbox.
Override shut down.
Yeah, this build is hot. Can't fire much before I have to pull back or fire a cool shot. Thankfully I have buddies around me right now,
Delta Timberwolf.
so I probably...
half a mech.
Alright, yeah, it's time to advance. Team is pushing forward, so
New
gonna hit them from the other
target
flank.
acquired.
Let's move in. Echo. Yep, that's the call. Time to move in. Delta going down.
Warning.
Timber Delta is
missile.
called out.
New
ATM and
target
lasers.
acquired.
Juliet. Dire. Move into Delta 5 guys. We need the assaults also. Too many.
Yeah.
So hitting them from the flank. Juliet comes out. Left torso is open. This build has pinpoint damage, so I can punish this guy. Dire left torso. You got it, thank you. Calling out the component. My buddy got him. That torso at least. Let's hunt the Dire. Ooh, ooh.
New target acquired.
Range boys in Charlie 4. Watch it. Clear Echo 4 first.
Target acquired.
Echo Stalker charging. So using the mobility of this mech to reposition to the left flank. Dire is there, out of position. He goes down. Poor guy. Yeah, good kill on Echo.
Echo's down.
Time to keep moving.
Target acquired.
The rifleman, Kilo's gonna be a problem. Charlie 4. He's on the wall.
Target acquired. New target
Aha!
acquired.
One guy here on Hotel. off.
Target spotted.
CT cord.
Hotel on our
Target
side.
Pinpoint
destroyed.
damage gets him.
Target acquired.
This guy also. Oh, Throttles gets him. Oh well. Push Delta 4.
India. Fafner.
7-1. Time to push for the
Target
win.
destroyed.
Pinpoint damage gets that mech, whatever that was.
New target
kill on that
acquired.
Let's advance Charlie 5. So 8-1. Those snipers
New target
on the wall were a
acquired.
problem. But if you don't expose yourself, they're not a problem.
Target destroyed.
Another kill for me. Ooh, forgot to override. One on Kilo. Thankfully, thankfully, last two guys are being suppressed by the team.
Override.
Yeah. I forgot to press O again. But never mind.
8 level critical.
Hot build. I can afford to shut down. They're overwhelmed, these last two people.
Right arm destroyed. Medium laser destroyed.
So when I said this mech is hot, it's no joke, right? The heat. Nicely done. So anyway, it's more or less a victory. One last guy. We only lost
Drinking
one.
it, bud.
Kind of a stomp. He's at Sigma, so let's just fast forward it to be find him. So anyway, let's talk about this build. So like I said, the range on this build, well, it's not up to clan weapon standard, but definitely very decent. So you got to use it to your advantage. And the mobility too. So you can reposition, like from me from the right flank all the way to the left flank. So thankfully I didn't take much damage this mech. So couldn't show you how tanky this build can be at times. But anyway, that's the last guy.
Lerm Hellspawn. Alright.
Yeah.
Up top.
Oh, it's one of those Lerm Hellspawns. Look at that build. Here a large LRM-10, 4 LRM-5s. Poor guy. But it's a dropship full of beer, so time
Bye-bye,
to
Lex.
time to get the beer. All the Lerms is gonna blow off his legs. I don't think I'll get a shot
Oh, he's
in.
lagged. He's over.
Oh, there he is. Ah, missed. Thermal vision for better view and
Nice work.
yep, managed to get that
Fall
kill.
down.
He fall down and 4 kills for me. So this was a stomp.
Yep, nicely done.
Good job.
12-1. So kind of sad storms, you know. Storms do happen quite a lot with Soup Q. But a victory is a victory and I'll take it. So 4 kills, 822 damage, 1 KMDD with this, using the range of this build to my advantage and getting a very decent match score of 522. So the last match was a pretty decent performance for a non-meta build. But if you know how to play your mech properly, you can do well in almost anything, as the top tier players have shown time and time again, even though I can't match these people. And talking about top tier players, in this particular match, we are dropping with a compy group in Alpha Lance, so getting the damage in is going to be a challenge. But the good thing is, well, we have quality players on our side.
Target acquired.
One javelin is spotted, but lots of friendlies in front of me, so I'm not gonna do team damage, even though I do that too often nowadays.
New target acquired.
So this gargoyle trading around the corner with the Warhammer moving up.
Target spotted.
Gonna keep these two company and support them. Use my range a bit.
Artillery strike.
So this is one of the initial phases of combat, the probing. Most people make the mistake of just rushing forward. Once they spot the target, they rush forward, and you will run into the enemy's firing line. So a slow, methodical movement up is always better. As for me, I'm keeping the Warhammer on my left and the gargoyle on my right company. A few targets there. Blow off an arm. Probably Hellbringer. Big chunky boy there, looks like a Fafnir. Drop the strike. Doing some damage at range. Many enemies have been spotted heavies, so team will be more aggressive. One thing about the comp players you have to learn from them, they are aggressive, they push when necessary. So that's something you could do. So moving to the right, I found the enemies trying to probe us from Delta 5. Thankfully, like I said, some range on this build is nice. I mean, gotta enjoy it, right? Can't be the Hellbringer or clan weapons, but still decent. That little gap in the building allows my lasers to shoot through. And they can't really do much return fire, so I'm gonna milk this corner. Do as much damage as I can. If they're stupid, they will push through. But this is tier 1 play, so they're not gonna do that. So one Mauler saw the enemies I was engaging like the bushwhacker and is rushing in to secure some kills. Accidentally shoot his arm. I'm sorry, Mauler.
Target acquired.
So team is pushing this area. So gonna support them. Bit of friendly fire. But it's time to support the push.
Heat level critical. New target acquired.
2 assaults and not pushing this corner. So that's okay.
Critical.
Gotta do a bit of damage trading first before we move in.
Level critical. Override.
Golf Stalker left
shutdown.
torso. Delta 5.
Hot build, so I can't trade too long.
New target acquired.
Hopefully these 2 assaults on my left move up a bit more. Nah,
Watch
this guy
Delta
ran
5.
away.
Target
Bravo.
acquired. Heat level.
Left
This,
torso.
this Marauder 2 went to the other side. I guess he saw the Hellbringer. What is this Hellbringer doing?
Shutdown.
Yes, they
He's
push.
doing
New
mistakes.
target
Delta
acquired.
5.
Enemy team does the classic mistake.
Golf left torso. One more shot.
One by one they try to rush us
Target destroyed.
and they run straight into our firing line.
They're pushing Charlie 5 down.
New target
And with that it's
acquired.
4-1.
One assault, one heavy.
Heat level critical. New target
One
acquired.
Kodiak and a Black Lanner.
Override shutdown. Heat
Running
level
really hot.
destroyed.
Gotta fall back a bit and shut down. Cool down a bit. I can't really outduel the Black Lanner and Kodiak. So I'm gonna join the team on my left here. Kind of a massacre yet again, it's 6-1. Alpha Lance doing work.
New target.
Oh, a bit of war crimes.
Target
Scully gets
destroyed.
Kieran with a strike.
Critical.
One Kodak, he's caught. Ah,
Target destroyed.
yeah, I got him. Psych you, good player. His Kodak goes down. And with that, it's 9-3. Lots of dead or smoking mechs around us. Time to run around, find the last tree. Most of my damage was actually heat damage, as you could see. Thankfully, it spread out quite a bit, so I don't get my torso blown off and die. Or rather, get my torso blown off and get a heat spike,
Target acquired.
also known as being crisped. So that's the Black Lantern. Black Lanterns, by the way, are one of the top mechs for having a high win loss.
Target destroyed.
But Captain Deadpool goes down, killed by G-Man129, which used to run the website MetaMex. But he has stopped updating the website. But he's still a really good player and a really nice guy. So 2 more mechs to hunt down.
We have gained Epsilon.
Constantly twisting in case somebody with a large alpha targets me. Figaro is one of them. So it's probably another Black Lantern or some fast mover.
We've captured
After a while, you more or less
resource
know
point
what the players are using.
Target
And there it is.
spotted.
Figaro gets G-Man.
Target
We
acquired.
need to keep holding on to our resource point.
Oh, it's a 4 small pulse locust. Kinda lacking in firepower.
Target destroyed.
I get a good burn on him, but Derek takes him out.
Target confirming that we have possession of Kappa.
And we're down to hunting Figaro. Figaro, Figaro, where did you go? So sometimes when hunting the last mech, it's good to take the high ground. Low signal, and there it is. True enough, it's a Black Lantern. One of Figaro's favorite mechs, and he does really well in it. But he's caught CT, letting him get a full burn on me, hoping to kill him, but I didn't. Rick Rom gets him.
Gathered enough
But I KMD'd him, so I can't really complain.
resources to provide us huge tactical benefit.
And with all said and done, it's a 12-4 victory. Kind of a storm yet again. But it's 814 damage, 2 kills, 1 solo kill, 2 KMDDs. A decent performance again. Almost 500 max score, 482 on this champion. So ladies and gents, that's it for this Champion 3 and Laservomit build. Well, not top tier, it still does well with good weapon locations and those armor quirks. So anyway guys, with the quadrant patches, do explore other builds, and I do hope to see you guys on the battlefield. Ciao!